Please welcome our next contestant. Rheid Schloss. Is it just me? Is it just me? Rheid Schloss.
One cold February night, I found myself on a hard metal park bench, staring at the stars and contemplating, how I would have back problems if I was homeless. I was frustrated with my job. The furnace needed to be replaced. The car was in the shop. I was frustrated with my job. The wind had blown over my fence. My wife was sick. Did I mention that I was frustrated with my job? Well, I was talking to God, mostly complaining. And that's when I hear, well, Rheid, what do you really want? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you ever wanted something so badly, only to discover once you've got it, you keep asking yourself, why did I want this? If you know what I'm talking about, say absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, come back with me 10 years earlier. There I sat, 42,000 feet above the Pacific Ocean, on a 14-hour return flight from Tokyo, Japan. I had wanted this job forever. I had dreamed of being this young, handsome corporate executive flying around the world, visiting exotic places like Tokyo, Kuala Lumpur, and Paris. First-class leather seat, white linen tablecloth with a steak and real silverware. Can you smell that back there, Coach? Such is the life. And that's when I hear, excuse me, sir, can you stop leaning on my shoulder? You're starting to drool. It's all coming back to me now. It was Coach, a middle seat, way back there in the back row, 997, with a plastic fork and a bag of peanuts. Is it just me? Or do your dreams sometimes turn into nightmares? If you know what I'm talking about, say absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, my dream job of being that young, smart, and handsome corporate executive didn't seem so smart anymore. I would wake up Sunday morning and I would pack my bags and then catch a flight to some exotic place like Cleveland. Only to return Saturday night and wake up Sunday morning and do it all over again. I had missed 5 of my wife's birthdays, 4 of our anniversaries, and my son's pee-wee football and t-ball careers. And in that middle seat, I decided I was going to do something about it. And I did. I kept getting up Sunday mornings to catch that flight. Is it just me, or do you sometimes just keep doing the same thing, hoping for a different outcome? Well, I got a little bit complacent, and I did get a different outcome. After one of those exotic flights, I was fired. Well, I don't know about you, but it's a scary thing to lose your job when you have mouths to feed, a mortgage to pay, and a car to be repossessed. I took the next job that came along. It was so exciting. New faces, new challenges, new destinations, and I was on that fast track of being that young, smart, handsome corporate executive again. And 15 months later, I found myself in that same middle seat. I had turned my nightmare dream job into a double feature. And that's when I found that hard metal park bench, complaining to God. Well, Rheid, what do you really want? I want to be a young, smart, handsome corporate executive. And I'm not so young anymore. And I'm never home, and my kids say that I wear dad pants. Well, that doesn't sound smart. But those do look like dad pants. Hey, whose side are you on anyway? Well, Rheid, what do you really want? Is it just me, or do you sometimes forget to listen? This time, I didn't hear it here. I felt it here. On that park bench, I realized that no matter how hard I tried to convince my wife and my son that I was doing all of this for them, it was just about me. You see, my dream job was taking me around the world, waking up in exotic places, alone. Dining at fine restaurants around the world, alone. And visiting historical places in Cleveland, alone. Well, my life changed on that park bench because I realized my dream job was preventing me from being a show-up dad, from being a present husband, and most of all, from being home for dinner. On that night, my dream changed. And for the past 10 years, I've been reworking that dream, focusing on what matters most. Now, I don't know what your dream is, or what your middle seat looks like, or if you've turned that dream job into a nightmare double feature. But I can tell you this: if you find yourself in that middle seat, alone and away from those who matter most, it's time to change your seat. Can I suggest you find a hard metal park bench where you can contemplate being homeless and having back problems? But most importantly, you can ask yourself, is it just me? Mr. Toastmaster.